the important class has been released, so and that's what we're definitely going to talk about today. Mages. The superior class. Really the only class anyone ever should play. And any other classes really kind of fall far behind. First look, off the cuff. I'm hoping there's some more true decisions when it comes to fire mages or frost mages. I'm not going to waste my time with arcane mages because they're not real mages. Yeah, I said it. But we're going to go down the left side, and unlike the shaman tree, we're going to go down this pretty quickly. On the left side, ice block, that's a given. And for the most part, I'm gonna start with a raid perspective. Frost Nova doesn't really matter. Okay, remove curse, sure. Alter time, all the best mages have it. Spell steal, of course. Reabsorption, you are healed 5% of your maximum health whenever a mirror image dissipates due to direct damage. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting. And reduplication, mirror image's cooldown is reduced by 10%. 10 seconds, not 10%, 10 seconds. Whenever a mirror image dissipates due to direct damage. Due to damage. So, raid perspective, that's not usually going to be an issue. So I think we're going to start with the reabsorption. That's more likely to come into play from a raid perspective. While inside ice block, you heal for 30%. We'll take it for points. Normally, if you're ice blocking, I'd expect the healers just to heal you. Unless they want you to die because of your superiority over them. Blast Wave or Mass Polymorph. Interesting that we got a fire ability that before you have the talent into. Mass Polymorph. Transforms all enemies within 10 yards into sheep, wandering around incapacitated for 1 minute while effective. The victims cannot take any actions. They will heal. That potentially you could use on some pools for like M+. Some we haven't had. So that makes it thematically that works for a mage. You know, again in raid is maybe you'll have 1 or 2 bosses where you bring you're gonna have a mage for AI anyway, and then hey go mass polymorph those ads so we can deal with them later. They can make raid fights 1 or 2 or something like that would take advantage of that. But more than anything, Blast Wave is probably preferable as far as practical use. Again, maybe a Mythic Plus, there can be some polls and you can do some shenanigans that way. Reduce magic damage by 3,000%. Is that a typo? 3,000%? This arcane warding, that has to be a typo, right? I mean, 6,000%? Maybe 60%? Otherwise, you're basically immune to magic damage. And there's no way that's right. I'm guessing that's supposed to be 6%. Okay, because that kind of goes along with like the shamans. They have a versatility one where they get like 3% versatility. So that's what I'm guessing. That probably is intended to be. Increase haste by 2%. Yes, please. All day long. And that leads in the shifting power. Okay, so that's probably the one we're going to go down. What this reads, we're not able to move with it anymore. But even with that set, shifting power is dang sexy. I'm Anomaly. Fire, combustion 5 seconds, one fire blast charge. By any moment you may gain. Okay. And for ice events for 8 seconds and Fingers of Frost. Or time warp for 6 seconds. That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, the RNG, and that's the question: is how often is it like once per minute? Because there's always an internal cooldown. Lose out on that haste buff. So this, depending on how good this capstone is, if it's really ends up not being that great, I could see mages coming for the haste. Haste is always good unless you're arcane. I like this because there's actually some quality choices that have to be made. Let's get over to the fire side. Fire Blast Chorus, Fire Blast Chorus. Flame Shark, we'll come back to it. Hot Streak, Core Mechanic, Scorch. Searing Touch. So this is currently a talent. Scorch deals 150% extra increased damage and is guaranteed critical strike when the target is below 30%. So essentially, Fire Starter, Fireball, and Power Blast spells always deal critical strike when the damage is above 90%. So normally on most bosses, you're going to take Searing Touch. However, Fire Mages, it's not uncommon on a boss like Lahuvim that's that way, or even in M+, you know, a boss that goes back up to full life, like Gambit, last boss in there, Alea. Same type of thing. You know, you whittle it down, get her, what is it, 40%? Then she phases, heals back up, and then you can take advantage of that as well. I think usually in M+, so you care more about the 30% also, the execute phase. So we're going to go Searing Touch. Imagine having a Fire Mage without a Fireball. Fire, because of this fire, you don't need as much crit with Fire because it's ingrained in the mechanics. That's why haste is so much more important, and mastery is particularly important when you're trying to spread it to other units. Obviously, you need Fire Blast. Question. Fail win. Yeah. Hey, why aren't you casting Fireball? Oh, yeah, I didn't take it. I didn't think I needed it. Critical Mass. Your spells have a 7% increased chance to deal a critical strike. You gain 5% more of the critical strike stat from all sources. All sources. So, you've got a helm that has crit on it. You have a ring that has crit on it. You have a gem that you normally would not put crit on your gems. But all your gear that happens to have crit. Again, Fire Mages usually don't stack crit because it loses its value. But maybe you still put 1 point in here. You will take Flame Strike, and like him, I don't have Flame Strike, but I may have to take it again because I'm thinking more of a raid perspective. So we're gonna go with 7%, goes up to 15%, and then you gain 10% from each critical stat. Again, Fire Mages don't need a ton of crit, but we'll go one just for funsies. Phoenix Flames, that's a no-brainer. Cauterize, which is essentially their cheat death. Obviously, take Combustion. Take a Blaster Master's back. Yeah, extra charge of Phoenix Flame is always good. So here's the choice: Alexstrasza's Fury, Phoenix Flames, and Dragon's Breath are always critically strike. It should say critical strikes, and Dragon's Breath contributes to Hot Streak. For those that don't know, Hot Streak is when we get 2 crits in a row, then we can do an instant Power Blast. And so with Combustion, every spell we cast is a critical strike. From the Ashes increases mastery by 2% for each charge Phoenix Flame off cooldown. On your direct damage, critical strikes reduce its cooldown by 1. Doing a Hot Streak grants you 1% intellect for 12 seconds. This stacks up 3 times. More intellect, more good stuff, more damage. I need to spend 30 points. Okay, well let's come back here. Reduce the cooldown. Oh, hold on. Let me move this just a little bit. I have my window bigger, just one so it's readable, but so I don't see all the ads as well. Flame On reduces cooldown and Fire Blast by 2 seconds and increase the maximum charge by 1 second. Yes, yeah, we definitely want that. I mean, if it's on a raid boss though, it's not a big deal. I mean, it doesn't burn them for very much. So you know what, we're gonna avoid Flame Strike for now, just for fun. Don't need Flame Patch because we don't have Flame Strike. First one is a bit more burst DPS. Are you talking about Alexstrasza's Fury? Is that the one you're referring to? Or questioning? Yeah, well, yeah, so the nice thing is since it contributes for a Hot Streak, now Dragon's Breath is a short ability, and so it's a cone-shaped ability. It's similar to Cone of Cold, except for fire-based and a disorient. So it can be used as a counter spell. Hey, you're already halfway through the video. You haven't clicked the like button yet. Do it. Do it. You can do it. It's free. Just do it. It helps me out a lot. Enjoy the rest of the video. So good in PvP. Can be used in M+. Less use overall in raiding. So, but since it always crits, contributes to hot streak. We want hot streaks. We live off hot streaks because we want those instant pyroblast. Because pyroblast by itself is like a 3-second cast or 2.5 or whatever. It takes forever. In most cases, you don't want to cast a pyroblast just cold, you know. So it helps for that. But usually, I think the increased mastery is more important because it'll help your burn damage. I still need 1 point. Again, may have to come back to conflag. Normally you normally have conflagration. Makes your fire stuff burn for a little bit extra damage, but also enemies can get you can burn over to do other enemies. So really, where this showed off, where it was really sexy, is in BFA, for example, on Hive Mind. Every mage was fire. That was worth a grain of salt, and every mage loved that fight because with all your mastery, made your burn damage go high. You start pounding. There's all these little ads. They're getting all the conflagration. They're all on fire. Everyone's burning up. You're doing 400 or 500 point DPS for almost the entire fight. Oh, whoa! I almost missed this. Combustion duration. Your combustion grants mastery equal to 50% of your critical strike stat. Hence, more benefit of a stack and more crit. Burst duration lasts 2 seconds longer. So, increasing combustion by 2 seconds is great. Just reroll like your real mech. No, we'll get to the frost here in a minute. Tempered Flames. Pyroblast has a 35% reduced cast time and a 15% increased crit strike chance. The duration of combustion is reduced by 50%. You know what? I have to test that, but until they prove that having a less combustion is good, no thank you. Tinder. Not the app that Ideo uses on the weekend. If you have not cast Fireball for 8 seconds, your next Fireball will deal 70% increased damage with 15% reduced cast time. That seems cool, but when are you not casting Fireball? So you might get this in M+, but I can't imagine not casting Fireball for 8 seconds. With the exception of when you go and combust, you don't have to cast Fireball. So that means essentially you'll get 1 Fireball, which will do extra damage. So that's actually not too terrible. Because as it is right now, at least, you can combust about every minute. What do we got on the other side here? Wildfire. Ignite deals 5% additional damage. Okay. When you activate Combustion, you gain 4% crit strike. And up to 4 nearby allies gain 1% crit strike for 10 seconds. So, you're actually helping your buddies. Not a terrible thing. And something I would prefer not to do. Because why do I want to help their DPS? I'm competing with them. But, I mean, you know, it's an option. It's an option. What do we want to work down to? Fire Frenzy. When Hot Streak activates, you have a low chance to cause all Pyroblasts and Flame Strikes. You have no cast time and a guaranteed critical strike for 5 seconds. That's kind of cool, but there's a problem there. 1.66 procs per minute. So you're going to get 1 minute. 2 every 3 minutes. And then plus you're going to go, you know, more AoE build, especially on a non-tyrannical week. On a tyrannical week, you'll probably go more raiding style build, more single target. So Fire Frenzy probably not going to do much for you. Fevered Incantation. Each consecutive critical strike you deal increases critical strike damage you deal by 1% up to 5%. That's going to be great during combustion. That'll help you get some pretty big combustions. Ignite deals 25% more damage while combustion is non-active. Fire Blast spreads ignite 4 additional nearby targets during combustion. Right now, we've been using Phoenix Flame to spread the ignite, which is, to me, I hate that. I don't like that at all. So I do like this option. Molten Skyfall, damaging an enemy with 30 fireballs or power blast causes your next fireball to call down a meteor on your target. Well, since it includes Pyroblasts, you figure maybe this happens about almost once a minute. Because when you Pyroblast, you're trying to think. Normally, I think you're normally getting around 7 to 8 Pyroblasts during that 10-second window. And then the rest of the time you're fireballing. Incendiary Eruption. Enemies damaged by Flame Patch have a 5% chance to erupt into a Living Bomb. Great for Mythic Plus. Living Bomb is one of those abilities that I think is a great ability, but it's usually not good enough to use. I mean, and so essentially the way it works is you target someone, they take some spell damage, fire damage, and then eventually they blow up. And then other enemies that are hit by the explosion also become the Living Bomb, but then you can't spread it further than that. And so an M plus, perfect, right? And I think potentially, if you're going an M plus build, Living Bomb may actually have a place. Really the question is how much damage is it going to do. A lot of that's going to be based off your gear, but I think it's a fun spell, but it's usually just been weak. Power Blast within 15 seconds deal 240% additional damage. Maximum of 2 stacks. It's currently a talent. I think this will be definitely one fun one to play with. And definitely has a place in raiding. Maybe, well, I'd say even M plus as well, especially on Tyrannical. What we got here? Pyromaniac. Casting Pyroblast or Flame Strike while Hot Streak is active has an 8% chance to instantly reactivate Hot Streak. Here's the problem I have with this. I think it's a little challenging to get a ton of value out of it. Controlled Destruction. Pyroblast's initial damage is increased by 5% when the target is above 70% or below 30%. So this is sexy. So if you went with Fire Starter, where you're doing extra damage above 90%, this is still going to be worth it. And you're still going to be able to execute with it. Most cases, though, I think you're normally going to take a Fire Starter. Again, unless it's a boss that has ads that have a lot of hit points where you can actually take advantage of them being above 90%. We'll go with Phoenix Reborn. I do like that. And then Sun King's Blessing. A lot of mages use this as their legendary. After consuming 8 hot streaks, your next non-instant Power Blast cast within 15 seconds grants you combustion for 6 seconds. So another just free combust. And normally with combustion, you need to have your fire. You need to pull up your Fire Blasts as well as your Phoenix Flames. And so you might have 1 or 2 of them back. You can cast Scorch. You can cast another fire ability that's going to proc it and still take advantage of it. It's a great ability. We still have 5 points left. Now we have the choice down here: Kindling or Fiery Rush. Kindling your Fireball, Fire Blast, Phoenix Flames. Critical strikes reduce the remaining cooldown of combustion by 1 second. We want as many combustions as possible because that's where our huge damage is. Or Fiery Rush, while combustion is active, your Fire Blast and Phoenix Flames recharge 50% faster. So you combine this with Shifting Power, which gives us cooldowns. Both of these are great. The question will be, in combination with Shifting Power, obviously, Kindling means we're going to get more combustions back quickly. With Shifting Power, as well as Sun King's Blessing, and we can even throw Pyromaniac in there. It might end up being better to go Fiery Rush because we're getting combust enough, and when we do combust, the Fiery Rush will enable us to have our Fire Blast and Phoenix Flames back. To start off, I'm going to go Kindling. Let's see that. I still have 3 points left. Most of these are AoE based, so I don't really care so much about them. Fire Blast increase your mastery. That is a good thing. And so we decide either from here or go to Master Flame. I think I like Master Flame better if there's any form of ads at all. If there's no form of Azov, the Ignite still does more damage. Then we probably come to one of these over here. Could go Conflag, so it just burns for more. Could go Pyromaniac, again, get a free Power Blaster, or Flame Strike, as the case may be. I think I'd probably go Alexstrasza's Fury. The trick, though, is you need to make sure you have your Phoenix Flames back for Combustion. You can use this to help you with a Hot Streak, which has good synergy with Sun King's Blessing. Again, more Hot Streaks, the better off you are. But I think there's definitely meaningful choices. I'm a little worried with a Fire Frenzy, that it just is not going to proc enough. I think that's going to be the one left out. Testing will prove differently. Obviously, Blizzard can change things around a little bit. I think we want Wildfire. More critical damage. Again, you hate to help out your buddies because they're trying to out DPS you. You've got that stupid rogue or that stupid hunter, or worse yet, a warlock. So, oh man, I'm doing so much damage. I'm so good. Yeah, it's because I'm making all your stuff crit. Well, you're welcome. Let me take away your AI. We have 1 point left, so we could get more crit. A lot more crit. I think that's overboard, though, to be honest. We'll do one of those. That seems pretty good. Not really taking M plus too much into consideration. M plus, you're going to get an improved Flame Strike, Conflagration. Blazing Barrier damage increased by 75%. Not that big of a deal. Kind of wasted points in my mind. Flame Patch is great, though, for AoE. Again, I love Living Bomb. I think it's a fun spell. It's just usually hasn't been great. And so it's usually kind of like the Red-Headed Stepchild. It just doesn't get chosen. Alright. That's it for Fire. Hey guys, Crovax here. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope it gave you a solid perspective on the Fire Mage in this case. But let me know what I got right. Let me know what I got wrong. I haven't had a chance to test this because I don't have the alpha. But those are just my perceptions. Tell me what you think. If you haven't already, hit the like button for me. It doesn't hurt you, but it does help me with the algorithm. It's all about the algorithm. The Overlord algorithm. Help me out. And if you'd like to see more content like this on a regular basis, hit the subscription button. Go ahead and sub for me. It's free. And it'll keep you up to date when we got some new videos. If you haven't seen our lip sync concerts, your life is about to change. Like 180 degrees trajectory. It'll make you smile, it'll make you laugh. Share it with your mom, your grandma, your cousin, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. Check us out. And be on the lookout for some of our other videos. Thanks so much.